Hello everyone, Bashar here. We are together with another raid video here, and the path of the Clover is live. So you might have seen that it has some very excellent rewards. So in this video I will try to tell you how to min-max it. And so the path you take if you want to get the goodies is rather self-explanatory, right? You have to start from the left or from the right, whichever suits you. I would say the right path looks a bit better because it has the core hammer. These are very hard to come by. And then after you reach this point, or even after you reach this point, it's kind of the same. And the one difference here is that is 500 points more expensive. Maybe you can choose this one to go a little cheaper. Definitely leave this for last in case if you have enough points. So the avatar is also very optional. And then we go here and then here, and basically we grab everything but the ores and I suppose one of the epic books. We want everything but one epic book and 2 ores here, and that will cost us quite some points. As you can see here, 10,000, 17,000, 47,000, 57,000, 72,000, 76,000. These are both a must, sadly. I forgot this one, right? 80,000, right? 80,000. And well, if we are going for the path of least resistance, 83,000, 84,700 ish is the minimum number of points to get the valuable rewards, and whatever there is to require for them. And the thing is, guys, you might have noticed the points are not really easy to come by. So this is basically a champion training event, all points multiplied by 2.2, 2.25 sort of thing. So if you imagine yourself doing a champion training event, and the last and keep in mind that I am saying event, not tournament. So that's very different, because in champion training tournaments, using books and ascending champions give you points, right? And in here they don't. In champion training tournament events, you don't get points except for leveling up and ranking up. So that's where we are. This is approximately 2.25 times magnified champion training event. And if you recall how hard completing 10,000 point champion training events are, that would be 22.5k points for you. Just keep that in mind. And artifact points are even worse. So if we are thinking of dungeons, stage 20 dungeons, that's the best for points per energy. Stage 20 normal dungeons are the best when it comes to points per energy, including hard mode dungeons as well. And this point system, that's what we only get, right? It's 5-star rares and up. And these don't really come into the picture if you are doing stage 20. So these 6, right? 5-star rares, epics, legendaries, and 6-star rares, epics, and legendaries. So this comes to approximately 32 points for stage 16 at stage 20, which means you are earning approximately 2 points per energy while you're doing a stage 20 dungeon. So what I'm suggesting here, suggesting for the min-max is, guys, you have several options. The worst option is running a stage 20 dungeon normally, right? The second worst option, which is quite better, actually, there's a difference, right? There's quite a difference between option 4 and 3. So option 3 is running a stage 20 dungeon solo. And by that I mean, for example, for tomorrow's Ice Golem, you have Betelkazar, you have Tyrant Ixlimor, you have Tunisia, you have someone that can solo stage 20 Ice Golem. That is quite better. And then we have, so these are very close. Then we have Nightmare campaign and Brutal campaign farming. So guys, what is the difference between Nightmare campaign farming and Brutal campaign farming? So if you are familiar, I'm already hearing some of you say Nightmare farm is obviously better, right? The answer is no, it is not obviously better. They are actually much closer than you would expect, because guys, the Nightmare campaign has two ups on the Brutal one. First one, it gives more experience per energy, right? So the difference, if you normalize them both, the Nightmare campaign gives you approximately 10% more XP per energy, which is a plus for Nightmare. And another plus Nightmare has is that it doesn't drop you mystery shards. So there is a very small chance that you get 0 points after you run a Nightmare campaign, right? The only chance is if you get a uncommon champion or a rare champion, and that's like 5% combined or something. So most of the time when you run a Nightmare campaign, you will be getting an artifact, and that means you will be getting some score, which is nice, right? And this kind of makes Nightmare seem very superior to Brutal, right? But there are two pluses for Brutal campaign. I mean, one of them is conditional. First, let me discuss the conditional one. So guys, Nightmare campaign is no joke. You know, the attack points, I mean the number of the attack values the opponents have, the enemies have, the defense values they have, the HPs they have are insane. And by that I mean literally insane, extreme 8,000 attack or something, right? I mean, an end game account best nukers attack-wise attack. And the HPs are even more crazier. The speeds, the accuracies and the defenses are horrible. It's like almost equal to the Brutal campaign, which is kind of zero. I mean, you will resist everything, you will land every single debuff except for the basic mischance, and you will be much faster and possibly twice as fast, because the speeds are around 95, 100 or so. So if you have 200 speed, you will be playing at a 2-to-1 ratio. But the problem is the Nightmare campaign is very hard. So for example, I would say I have an account that is progressing to late game from mid game ish. I mean, I can run every stage 25 dungeon, I can do some hard dungeons. I mean, I kind of clear or almost clear hard Doom Tower. I'm at that sort of level. I mean, you can see my power here. Of course, it's not a perfect indication, but I mean, it means something. I have 30 legendaries, etc., etc., and I don't have a Nightmare farmer. I mean, I'm not saying I can't have a Nightmare farmer, but I don't have a Nightmare farmer. And the thing is, guys, even if you have the smallest chance of losing, that makes Nightmare very bad, right? Because you'll waste 16 energy, and that's a problem. So this is the conditional thing, guys. I mean, if you have a very good ethos sitting around, if you have a very good big one sitting around, or any other, if you have a serious solid Nightmare campaign farmer, then this is of course goes out of the window. It's just a conditional thing. And the final thing that I want to say in Brutal campaign's favor is, guys, you are actually running two Brutal campaigns where you are running one Nightmare campaign, right? And that means with 16 energy you are getting an artifact with a 95% chance. But on Brutal you have like a 75% chance on two artifacts, right? So for the same amount of energy, if you spend 16 energy on both Nightmare and Brutal, you are expecting to get almost one artifact for Nightmare and almost 1.5 artifact for Brutal. And I know that the Nightmare's dropped artifact is a bit better, but it's only a bit better. It's not too much better. Also have to keep that in mind. So that's also in Brutal's favor. So it's a bit hard to calculate, guys, because I mean the artifact you can average something, right? You can say, let's say for example, for Nightmare campaign the average is 5-star common, and for Brutal campaign you can say the average is 4-star common, and you would not be very far off. But the thing is, you can't really calculate the XP too good, right? I mean, you can calculate the literal amount of XP being earned, but how many points will that XP bring for you, right? Because if you are leveling a 6-star, you are getting an insane amount of points for it. But if you are leveling a 3-star, you are getting some mediocre points out of it. So that's also a factor. and you will not always have 6 stars and 5 stars to level, right? So the average would be, I would say, leveling up 3 stars and leveling up 4 stars, somewhere in between. So you have to take into account that one as well. So I would say top one would be, so let's calculate that. So if we say Nightmare campaign gives you a rank 5 on average, you are getting 18 points of on a single run. And if you are saying getting, say, this one on average, that gives you 23 points per run, sort of, right? Because you have the chance to fail to get the artifact, but you have 2 chances, so that brings you more points. So you have to calculate 18 points versus 23 versus the experience difference, which is 10 to 15%. So there's that. And if you calculate in the chance of failing, I would say Brutal looks better, right? So the only way that Nightmare is better, that you have an excellent campaign farmer that does it with 100% chance. And I'm not really taking the spent amount of time into effect, as you can see. And the reason is, guys, if you are even running 1,000, and even if you are doing it in 20 seconds, that adds up to 20,000 seconds. And that's not too much of a time, right? The event lasts 4 days, 20,000 seconds are like less than 6 hours. It can be done, right? So the duration is not a problem. So what I would suggest is spend today's energy on campaign, stage 12-3 Brutal or stage 12-3 Nightmare. You can go for stage 12-6, but 12-6 gives you infinitesimally more XP. Like it's 2% or even less. Stage 12-6's experience is, as I said, almost 2% higher than stage 12-3, and stage 12-3 drops sell for much more silver. So I would suggest stage 12-3, and I would say spending all of today's energies on the campaign. Then tomorrow switch to Iron Golem, because we have to do it for the fusion, and as soon as Iron Golem ends, switch back to the campaign and brew your champions accordingly, and use any and all means of extra energy if you want to grab these rewards. And these rewards are pretty fine, guys. Take a look. 2 legendary books. This stone is insane. 1 void shard is very good. These coins are not bad. This stone is also very valuable. So guys, this feature has been in the game for about 6 months, and I am running Iron Twins casually. So I cleared up to stage 9, stage 12 in a few. No, I don't think I have cleared stage 12 in any color actually, but I did just once to get the rewards, and I do it extremely rarely, let's say once per month or so, because I can't do stage 15. And the thing is, I have opened the 9 from the second stone total, and just 1 from the big stone, and that one was when I sniped a win in a champion chase. So I have earned 0 of these so far, and I think I am going to earn just the one with these tokens, and that's about it. So these are extremely rare and valuable, I'm sure everyone knows, and this is more valuable than even a sacred shard. So I would say drop everything you do, and don't drop the fusion, obviously. So as I said, the best approach to this would be farm your campaign today, stage 12-3 Brutal or Nightmare, depending on your situation. Tomorrow switch to Iron Golem, Ice Golem, finish Ice Golem, and then switch back to campaign for the remaining days, and hopefully you'll get and of course use brews in an efficient and smart manner. And if you have leftovers, you can grab this node, these nodes, something. Yeah, if you are short on points, you can grab this node, but I would say first beeline for this one, because this one is the hardest, and then you can find the energy in yourself to push for these, right? Because these are not that bad, and this is actually the fruit of some labor, guys. I did around 10 runs on Spider Solo and some runs on Brutal campaign with 4-star and 5-star foods. So I mean, even this many points are something. You can use your barrels and what's the name, feast, if you have any, to your advantage. So guys, because a barrel would give you almost 900 points, which is very nice. A feast, well, it will depend, but a feast will also give you a nice amount of points. So if you are using it on a cold heart, for example, you will get more than 1,000 points from the barrel. So imagine you barrel a cold heart and then feast him. You feast a cold heart and then barrel him. Yep, that's almost 2,000 points. So if you have any of those will be good as well. So good luck with the Path of the Clover, and I'll see you. Bye bye.